what's going on out there in YouTube world and the model car building community? This is the Raging Cajun 2013 coming at you live from the Cajun Classic Scale Custom Model Car Garage with Phase 4 of the plug wire demonstration. What's going on, my brothers and sisters out there? How y'all doing this weekend? Hope everything's going good for you if you're just tuning in. Let me just turn around and face you to the motor block that I got going on here and basically give you how I wire my distributor. This is Phase 4 of the plug wire demonstration. Let me get them all situated here and we'll show you what I got. Excuse the mess on my desk too, by the way. I've been really busy at work with this car today. It's one that I haven't really showed anybody. It's just something I've been messing with, so just to keep me busy. Alright, there's my engine block. If you could see it standing there. I got all the plug wires. Now, I try to keep the plug wires in a row here, basically. I take my distributor and I try to start with the bottom plugs first, the plug wires first. So from the rear to the front, I basically take the first two, if I can get it up here. And you don't need to really be, yanking on them too much. It's just basically getting them in here and putting them into the distributor and then through the bottom wire or the bottom tube to hold it together. Basically what I do is, if you're watching here, I take the first two, I stick them through the top of the distributor. Okay? With that, I pull it up forward. And try to keep it as even as possible, because you want this thing to be as tight as can be in order for it to work. Okay? What practice makes perfect. Now, with the same two wires that I got here, I take that rubber tubing that I showed you earlier, and I stick both of them in there, through that tubing. Okay? And basically I continue to process on all the way through. And just keep on doing it. Go right through. Keep pulling it. Oh. It may fall over, it's going to topple, it's going to turn, it's going to do all the crazy things that normal. Okay, now you got the first two in. You repeat it with the second two. Remember, working from the back to the front of the block. You always take two at a time, and eventually it'll be one at a time because it gets harder to go as you go along to get through that tube. So you do the same thing. You stick it through the distributor. Okay. Top of the distributor. Let me get it through here, guys. It takes a second. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. This video may be a little longer than I want it to be, but at least you get the idea and then you'll see the finished product. And basically we'll go to step 5, and that's putting the distributor into the manifold itself. I do the same thing. Sometimes it's easier to just do one at a time, but you want to do the same number block or the same number distributor. Remember, they go in two. I usually count them off in twos. The first two in the back are 1, and then the second two are 2. So you can do it one at a time, but you got to make sure that you do the same side, same number. So left 2, right 2, left 1, right 1, if you understand what I'm saying. And I'll explain a little better in detail here in a moment. But I put them through the distributor, pull it through, okay? And then I do the same thing with the tube. I put them right through that tube again. And this tube actually works as a tensioner. It kind of tightens up the wires. It makes it tighter. It makes it look neater. And then you're able to pull it in a little more and build the distributor actually better, I found out. Here we go. Got one in. All right. And get the other one in. And we'll be on number 4. That'll be 4 wires so far in there, guys. 4 wires, 2 sets. Okay. And then you go and move on to the next ones. This is 3. Set number 3. 6 plug wires total now. Remember, like I said, do 1 at a time or 2 at a time. Whatever you can get in that through the top of that distributor is fine. But you always want to go through the top. Oh, where'd it go? Sometimes you lose them, and this can be real time consuming at times. It pull your hair out of your head at others, and just relax with it. You know, this is what the hobby's all about. It ain't about to get upset and irritated with it. And when you start getting at that point, you need to take a break, because this is real tedious to a point. Or it can be at times, trying. Alright, now we got that one through. This is number 6. Set number 3, 6 wires through. And you want to repeat and go right through that tube again. And I usually like to listen to relaxing music to this. It just keeps it kind of happy, medium in the house. Nothing major. See, it knocks over, but that's okay. We can pick it up. So let me get this one through. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing here. All right. I think I got it through. Nope. There it goes. Now this is where it gets tedious, because you got to remember where the wire is coming out of, and if you got the wire through, and it's like, okay, do I got that? Nope, that ain't it. That ain't it. You got 6 through the top, but not through the bottom, and then it's like, well, where'd it go? I know it's going through. So it's just bad. Nope, did it go all the way through? I thought I had it. All right, there it goes. I got it here. It's getting tight into that bottom tube there, so it's actually working out well. And just kind of pull it through like a needle through a thread through a needle. And as you can see, so far I got it through that wire, and I'll show you more once I get it closer. Okay, so now we're on number 6, right? Nope. You don't want to get hooked up in your engine stand. But now you're on number 6. You got your distributor. You got your tension wire. You pull it through. And everything seems to work out really well since I've been doing it this way. It's easier to keep track of them. It's easier to keep the tension on them and to get them to where they need to be. All right, well, now we're on set number 4, 7 and 8 plug. Okay, do the same thing. Go through the top. See, before I used to just drill the hole out the top and put them right through and drill a hole into the block and stick everything in there. Well, it was just not tight enough for me. The wires looked like they were just all over the place. And then with this last kit I did, with the Super B, I figured out, well, let's put it through this tube and see how that works, and it worked out really well. So I learned new things too, or I figure out new ways of doing things. It may not be somebody else's way, and somebody else may have a better way of doing it. So if you can find that, by all means, go for it. But this is basically how I do it, and it works well for me. It can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but it is what it is. So, oh, here we go. Number 7's coming through. And you pull number 7 through. And we got one more to go. Just this one here. And we do the same thing. Stick it right into that sometimes it's hard to get it through there because it's the last one, and this one's usually the one that's going to give you a hard time. Because it's so compact in there now, and it's like stranding copper through a wire for electrical. Like electric wires. There it goes. Alright, you push it through. Eventually it'll go through. You just got to toy with it, and that's where the time consuming is. There it is. And we got that in there now, okay? Now, let me show you here. sorry, is you look here, here's the distributor, right? There's the distributor. And if you look real closely, you see that plastic tube where my thumb is here? I can move it up, or I can pull it down. And that actually works as a tightener or tensioner. It kind of couples everything together. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start pulling all these wires together here. Okay? And that's basically how I get the plug wires through the distributor. And we tighten everything up, which will be the next step. And then I'll show you that on the next step. So basically that's how I do my distributors and my plug wires. Okay? We'll go to the final step, which is step 4 or step 5, I believe. And that's basically just tightening up the wires, putting the flower wire in and putting it into the block. Basically is how it's done, or manifold, sorry. So let me move on to that and we'll see you in a few moments.